Hi, how's it going? I'm Marlene. Thanks for wandering by. Okay. I always feel like Cher from Clueless when I'm like, okay. But I always start out that way. Okay. Today what I wanted to do is give you guys a Thothy, a Thoth update. So, for those of you who are here for the first time, welcome. I'm Marlene. I'm a poet and a tarot reader, and I like to make content about those two things, and mostly where they intersect. But those of you that have been around here for a while, welcome back, may know already that I have this year, 2022, now we're in October, so I got my little skull and spooky set up here, which I thought turned out really nice, and I'm not very design inclined. Anyway, we're in October of 2022 right now. And I made a commitment to study the Thoth every day this year. And so far, I have not broken that commitment. I have pulled a card from the Crowley, Harris Crowley Thoth Tarot every single day. So what I have for you, it's early in the morning. I got my coffee, and I've done this before where I shared with you how I do my Thoth daily draw and how I record it and things like that. But today I wanted to share with you some of the experimenting that I've done with this practice, because it can get stale if it's something that you want to do. So like, we're in October, people are starting to look at like planners and start to like things for 2023. And you might even already be thinking about like goals that you want to set, like your tarot goals or learning goals for next year. And so I'm here to already give you some advice about like how to keep things fresh in terms of learning process for you, because simply pulling, and some of you might be able to stick with it if you're just using the one deck the whole year long, more power to you. But for me, I know I needed something else to kind of step in and refresh or jumpstart my thinking. So what I have for you, and what we'll do is, I'm always interrupting myself. I was telling my friends that the other day. Okay. What I have for you here is the original Thoth tarot deck, and then I have some Thoth-inspired tarots. And what we're gonna do is I'm gonna go, I'm gonna talk about these individually a little bit. Then what we'll do is I want to pull my Thoth daily, show you the book that I'm kind of obsessed with right now on the Crowley Tarot. It's the Crowley Tarot, the Handbook to the Cards book, but I'll show it to you. Yeah, and we won't spend too much time like looking through everything. But yeah, so this is the original Thoth, so I'll move it out of the way. I'm sure many of you have already seen this deck, but it's the original. This is a greenie, so it has the green tinted borders. So it was this is an out of print publishing of this deck, but the deck is the large, small, and pocket versions with a whiter kind of gray border is still available for mass market. So this is the Thoth original. I love this deck so much. I might have to talk about the court cards here more. Well, I am going to be talking about court cards quite a bit coming up, but and like maybe I'll do like a card by card comparison of this in the Waite Smith and see who wins. I think I've seen somebody do that before. Maybe Maybe it was Anna at Astral Lady Tarot. She did that before. I think maybe I want to do that. So that's the original. This is an indie deck called the Outgrow Yourself Tarot and Oracle. This deck was my first Thoth-inspired that I used consistently. So when I first started way back in January, February, I was using this deck kind of already out of the gate alongside the Thoth tarot every day when I would pull it. And so this deck is unique in that you can use it as both a tarot and an oracle. So it has your tarot title or, card down at the bottom, and then it has your oracle message up top. So you don't need to be studying Thoth in order to use this, but honestly, if you want to study Thoth, this is a really great companion deck to the OG when you're starting out. When you put these in, when you put these side by side, there's color, there's a color story. There are things to compare. This gives you, this doesn't give you like, so this is the 8 of discs or 9 of discs. This is the 8 of discs, Prudence. And I know, see, like I've memorized that, but like Prudence is just the title that you get. It doesn't tell you 8 of discs on here. And this doesn't really show you 8 discs to give you that idea, but it has, or is it 7? Oh my gosh, now I can't. Is it 7 or 8? I'm gonna have to look it up. But I feel like it's, hold on, this is gonna bother me if I don't have it. Cause I'm like in it, you guys. Yeah, it's the 8 of discs. See, I made a little cheat sheet for myself with the names of the titles. These are the titles. They're short and hermetic titles, but they, they work as keywords too. So anyway, that's that's just me being geeky there. So I was talking about the Outgrow Yourself, and oh my gosh, there's all kinds of weird shadows casting, but I don't know. It's the morning light, so who cares? So anyway, this was great because of that, like tying in together this like oracle message with the, the tarot title. This is the 6 of Swords. And like, you can, it broadens it for me. It doesn't, that's funny. It doesn't limit it. It broadens the understanding of the card because I was learning it. And so having this like question or phrase at the top was very helpful. So I brought this back out. I haven't used it since really I want to say February or March, maybe even into April. I was still using it alongside the OG. Yeah, I brought it back out because what I wanted to do today was, draw the card that matches it next to my original and sort of have a look at all of these side by side. This deck is awesome. I love it so much. It's so good. It's also my inner teenager voice, but it, it has the Thoth, learning going on. So this is the Tabula Mundi by M.M. Moline. It's also an independent, these are all indie decks. I guess there's not a lot of mass market Thoth-inspired. I've been looking, so if you know of them, tell me. Sorry if you can hear my dog. He's walking around, he's eating, he's drinking. So I'm just not gonna edit today. We're just doing it as is, baby. Okay, so I love this deck when I look at it. I haven't yet, if you've seen any of my other Thoth videos, I haven't yet found where it lives for me in my collection. Like, and I don't know why I needed to have a specific purpose other than its own purpose as a tarot deck. But for some reason, I'm just like, what else are you gonna, maybe it's because I listened to M.M. Moline and Susan Chang's, I'm gonna just start flipping. Maybe it's because I listened to M.M. Moline and Susan Chang's podcast for so long that I was like, I need to know where you where you live in my collection and how I can best use you. I think maybe I'm a little intimidated by it. I love it though. I really do love this imagery. So another thing that's really awesome about this, the Tabula Mundi, it's a truly Thoth-inspired deck. It has M.M. Moline's artwork. It has the name of the card. It has the title, the Hermetic title, and it has the astrological correspondence, which I always get muddied up here because I read the planet for, you know, like you read the planet and then the sign, but this has the sign and the planet. So it's Sun in Scorpio. The Six of Cups is Sun in Scorpio. There's some that always get me hung up, like Saturn and Jupiter. I can never remember which is which. Like that's Jupiter or Saturn. Anyway, Jupiter or Saturn, like those two. One looks like a 4, one looks like an H. Are you screaming at the screen yet? I have a book. I'm gonna look it up. Anyway, what I want to do, because so I brought out the Outgrow It Yourself because I was using it at the beginning of the year and I missed it and I want to see it again. And I brought this one out because I wanted to use it. I wanted to compare it while I do my Thoth daily pull today. And I wanted to I want to be using this in my practice in some way. And instead of like hemming and hawing about how I'm going to use it, just like fracking, I'm Battlestar Galactica talking, just use it, you know, like just use the deck already. So that's what we're going to do. And then, okay, so this last one is, this is another indie deck. And like always, guys, I'll put the links for, these are all available. I'll put the links in the description box below. Now, I don't think I had this deck. Did I? I can't remember. Oh, I did. Yeah, I did have this deck when I did my Thoth-inspired decks. This is the Wild Essence Tarot. And this is made by one of our own tarot tubers, Lennon Smith. And this is the deck that I've been using for the past, I want to say month. Yeah, I've been using this deck for the past month alongside my, my Thoth every single day. And it's been really great and inspiring. I love the choices for the court cards. So this is available on Make Playing Cards. I think there's a couple different versions of it. You can get the version that has the just the title of the card. So this is the Six of Wands because it's victory, but there is a version, I believe, that will say wands on it. So you can get this or the one that just has, that says wands and the title on it. So everything's upside down, sorry. I love the choices for the core cards. It's great with just the animal. This being called the Wild Essence Thoth is very spot on, and it's just really well done. The Death card is one of my favorites in the Thoth, and I love this depiction. It really does a wonderful job of kind of stripping down like all of the intricate detail and symbolism in the artwork and Lady Frida Harris's artwork, and boiling it down to like this simple zoomed in image from nature, like a nature scene or a, one animal or something. And it sort of does, like, it's twofold for me. Like what it does is it makes it like zooms in to the microcosm. And then when you go in and think about that essence of the Thoth, it also then, it kind of like shoots you back out into the macrocosm. I'm not sure if that makes sense to you all, or would make sense to Lennon, hopefully, who made the deck. That's so great for zooming in and zooming out. Like, that's how I feel about it. Like, I feel like it really pulls you in, and then it kind of slingshots you back out into like a larger, more, a bigger picture kind of thing. It does, like the essence, so it's like, it's small and big. It's big and small. It's both things at the same time. If you've been around here at all for any bit of time, you know that I love extremes. I'm into dualities. I love this card. Anyway, this is a wonderful, wonderful learning tool. On its own, I mean, I do recommend though that if you're going to get this deck, that you also have the original Thoth, because comparing the two is where it's at, like that's where it's at. And I am into it. Totally into it, man. Look at that hangman water. All right, so here's what we'll do. We're going to, I'm gonna shuffle and draw. I think I might do that off camera, and because I'm gonna have to like search through each of the decks then to find the corresponding card, and then we're gonna line them all up and take a look at them. And this is gonna be my Thoth reading for the day. And basically what I do when I pull my Thoth card is I'm really just asking about what I want, what I need, what I not want. Well, yeah, maybe what I want, what I need to learn about today. Because the Thoth is a learning journey for me. I don't use my daily draws as like a predictive for the day. It's really about like what I want to investigate, what I want to study, what I want to research, what I want to think about this day in the Thoth itself, and growing out from there. So yeah, my dog is definitely having his munching on his food. Anyway, so I'm going to go ahead and well, here I'll shuffle and draw from the Greenie on camera, and then I'll get all the other cards and line them up. And with the magic of, I'll only edit that part. With the magic of editing, we'll be there. But yeah, I am, oh yeah, this is how I shuffle my Greenie. You have to do it side. The best shuffler of all of the Thoth originals is the small. That's the one that works for the best for me. That's small. Okay, so we're going to draw from the Thoth Greenie. I don't feel ready for it yet. I don't know, I'm weird. I do like a breathing kind of thing. Oh, and I definitely don't read jumpers. I do a breathing kind of thing. And I wait for like my body to do like fully on like kind of a tingle before I draw. Okay. So the devil. Ooh, okay. So I can't wait to look at the devil in these other decks. And then, so yeah, be right back. All right, so ta-da, magic, we're here. And I've got the 4 cards. So from the original Thoth, the devil, And then from the Wild Essence Thoth, now Grow Yourself Tarot and Oracle, and the Tabula Mundi. And I apologize about the lighting that I had before. It's probably a hot mess, but I'm just not going to re-record that part. That part was mostly me talking anyway, and here is really where you want to take like a closer actual look at the screen. So let's talk about my first impressions of all of these, and then I'll dip into the book that I'm obsessed with, and maybe we'll talk a little bit more. Okay. So I've studied the Devil card a little bit before. I don't pull this card that often this year. But like clearly, like when we're talking about, symbology, like this is very clearly a phallic symbol. You got a big penis right here. And I really, that's like the big thing that stands out. So it makes you think of, very masculine energy. There's a lot going on here with the symbolism, like this particular staff. I'm not sure what it is. I'll have to look that up to remind myself. You have your goat with the third eye wearing a crown of some kind, and then the long horns of the goat extending into and off, into the corners of the frame. And then the, like the testicles down here with like, human figures that are, I don't know, fighting to get out in some sort of like motion. Yeah, it really, it makes you think of like, masculine energy, like the seed of life, and where, desire comes from, things like that. Just like off the cuff, what I think about. And, it's also kind of humorous, like for, just as an immediate, like goat, penis, it's funny. Just in that like middle school humor kind of way, which I have. And then in the Wild Essence, we have a very zoomed in image of a spider web. And so like here, it makes me immediately think of, being trapped, cycles of life and death. This is, makes me think of cycles of life and death too. Also webs make me think of like secrets and lies and getting entangled and enmeshed in that kind of a scenario. But because it's a web, a web, like a natural web, it also makes me think of like, like death traps, and the like necessity for that type of the necessity of the spider for that web for survival. But it does feel like it's like messy and beautiful, and like things that kind of can get really easily lost in there, So over here with the Outgrow Yourself, it says, hide your secret under the tree. And then we have this figure. This has kind of gone very far away from the imagery, except she's horned like our goat friend. And this is kind of giving me a little bit more Waite Smith vibes, but it's, she is holding people inside cages that are held together by plants that are streaming through her hair. There's a snake. Is there a snake in here? There's a serpent between her legs, a row of skulls with one giant skull in front of her. And so clearly she's this like demon type creature who is holding people, humans, captive. And there's, you know, there's all kinds of stuff going on here. There's like this very serene kind of like snarky, maybe satisfaction. The goat has that kind of smug smile too, and then she's got this face on her belly. Interesting. This has a face on the belly too. So here we have in the Tabula Mundi, there's so much, I can't get into all of this, but we have, and I only have the guidebook for this on my phone, so, and my phone is my camera, so that's how we have an hourglass. We have this figure. I'm assuming all of this is coming straight from mythology. The devil is the Capricorn card as well. So, you know, without belaboring the imagery here for too long, I just, you know, there is like a kind of a green and brown, not brown here, but green and brown that kind of pops throughout. There's a blue here. I just like to look at color story. You know, so this is what I do. If I usually only have one card and one deck that I'm comparing to the Thoth, and I do this. I look at it. I think about it. I study it. I pay attention to the symbology. I look at, you know, these are much more intricate. So when you're comparing these two, there's a lot of different little things to look at. Over here, that's why this one has been my favorite, because it's this essential zoomed in image, and then you have your Thoth. So, okay. So yeah, I mean, overall, I feel like we need to learn about, I need to learn today about the devil, like cycles of life and death, that kind of thing, being caged, trapped. The word secret popped up for me when I looked here. It is literally on this card. Hide your secret under the tree. You know, traditionally the devil has a lot to do with like, you know, being seduced, tempted, addicted, you know, also being enslaved to something, to an addiction or to a temptation or to something. There's lust and desire, secrets, lies, also are a theme that's woven throughout the idea of the devil. The devil also in some depictions, and even I see it here, is it's something about accepting your own nature for me, accepting yourself, even the parts of you that are not necessarily like conventional or what people would consider you know, like whatever, normal, you know, kind of maybe accepting those things about yourself that you would keep secret, that would be taboo, and maybe, you know, being able to be yourself and accept yourself authentically is how you kind of get out of the web, you know, quit hiding. And I wish I had more to say. I can't believe I put this out here without having access to my guidebook to see. I'm certain that there's like a ton of mythology that I'm missing here. But if you're not prepared to purchase the Tabula Mundi, you know, deck itself, there's an app. I'll give you a link to the app as well, because I have the app so that I have the guidebook there, and it's a beautiful, filled with mythology and stories, condensed in a really great, easy way to learn them. Okay, so I'm gonna take a look at I'm gonna take a look at the book that I've been studying this past, I've kind of been into this one, the Crowley Tarot, the past couple months. And I'm gonna look up the devil, and maybe just, I have a habit of reading to you. I don't know if that's annoying or not, but that's like the teacher in me. that So this book has a great setup. The majors are definitely more involved than the minors in this book, but it does always have, it has, I think these are the subcategories for each of the cards. Sometimes those change though down here. So for the devil, we have the instinct, the goal, the guiding principle, the light, the shadow, and the quality. So we'll just look at that real quick, and I'll probably spend some time reading this throughout the day. So the instinct, instinct sound, let me just look at another card. Is an instinct? Yeah, instinct is on the art card. So instinct. So like, I guess maybe immediate reaction. Strong, instinctive, and suggestive power. Lust for power, but also the fight against evil. That doesn't resonate for me right away, but I'll think about it. Goal, black magic, ritualized sexuality, ego transformation through group rituals, reversed the Inquisition, which burned people, mostly women, as witches in the name of God. Okay, that's something to think about, but that's not really what's coming up for me in terms of what to learn. Well, I guess I can learn about that. I'll take a look at that. Like, I know that that's, you know, something that happened. Guiding principle, the encounter with the shadow, the sum of unlived possibilities. Light, perception of the true complete self. Lucifer as the bringer of light. Shadow, fateful entanglements, self-destructive drives, hell, darkness, dark powers, collective hysteria, quality. The power constantly wanting evil and continuously creating that which is good. All right, so honestly, I gotta tell you, this is the first time that this book kind of went off in a direction that's not speaking to me. But I mean, I guess, yeah, like all of these things are things, right? So like the devil as the adversary of God. This talks about the principle of darkness, creative energy in its most material form, the scapegoat, sublimation. All right, well, maybe it's not going off. Maybe it's just going, you know, like with traditional understandings about the devil. And I'm trying to like move past that. The collective shadow, the initiate, the horns, the crown, the tree of life, phallus, the ring of newt, root. Okay, well, so roots, testicles, raised background, general, kind of consciousness. Okay, there's so much. There's so, the I Ching, there's deities, mythology. Yeah, like this is because this is a major. I haven't pulled a major recently and used this book, so I'm not gonna read I'm not gonna read you more than that. It's a great book because there's a lot, and I'm gonna dig into this today and think more about it. But yeah, I'm gonna make a note of this card in my daily planner and kind of spend the rest of my coffee cup, you know, reading through and taking a look. But that's, yeah, I put this together for you so that you can see, like, and set up for yourself maybe, if you're thinking of doing a yearly, daily, you know, if you're thinking of making a commitment for the year, for learning Thoth or anything else, that I highly recommend that you bring in some other cards, sources, depictions. Even if you don't purchase the deck itself, if you like, you know, look it up, if it's, you know, something that's accessible that way, to kind of, and, you know, invigorate your learning and your study. Like, obviously I have a deep dive that I need to go on here for the devil today. And I think it's going to be an interesting one, because I was immediately just like ready to be like, okay, it's about, you know, accepting your true nature and move on. But there's a whole bunch of other stuff that's very like the mythology, and there's even biblical, you know, a lot of biblical references and things like that to like consider, ponder, like, and I kind of cast those aside. And I think what I need to do is like revisit all of that stuff for today. Thank you so much for sticking around. I hope you like that little bit of an update. And I hope that you all have a beautiful, wonderful day. Bye.